I was born in Juneau, Alaska, and I was raised there. And I went to my first year of college at UAF. And the reason I came to UAF was for purely practical reasons. I wanted to major in theater. I didn't want to go to Anchorage, and I wanted to stay in Alaska. And that left one school in Alaska, which was UAF. So I came here. And so for me, the question is not so much why I came to Fairbanks, because it was such a practical reason. It wasn't even an issue for me. It was like, well, I need to go somewhere, and I'm going to go here. It's why I stayed, and I stayed here because I found a community that I didn't know existed, and I didn't know that I belonged to, and I got to find it here, and it was wonderful. What attracts me to Alaska is the remoteness and the nature and the people, and I don't find as much of those in Anchorage. It feels like a big metropolis that got dropped into Alaska, and you kind of go there and you're like, what are skyscrapers doing in Alaska? I think the appeal for people is to go to a name school or to go to a school where it's huge and there's lots of people there. But what happens there is it's so much more impersonal often because, you know, if you don't even get parts usually till you're a junior or a senior, big parts or good parts. Well, I mean, every part's a good part, but parts that like actually you can work with more than like 2 lines. You know, and because there's so many people there all the time, you don't really get to know people as much, and it's much more impersonal. And before it was like you memorize this, this is what Poly 700X is like. You memorize this, you regurgitate it on the test, you forget about it. That's learning. And I didn't see the point of that. And then when I had my first theater teacher, it was like, you know, you memorize this script, you come to class, you work on it, you go home, I expect you to keep working on it, you show it again, it's grown. You're going to take it home, you're going to keep working on it because this is your audition piece, and you need to keep it fresh, you need to keep it meaningful. And for the first time, it was like, oh, learning is alive, and it's not memorizing this and learning it and then forgetting it 2 minutes later, and that's what drew me to learning. And then I really discovered history before that, but I had never thought about teaching history. And then I realized that if I could make the difference in someone's life that Miss Berryman made in my life, it was just like, well, who wouldn't want to do that? People should come to Theater UAF because it's every single teacher here that I've ever talked to in a moment of, I don't know what I'm doing, has always come back to that they're there for the students. You know, people at UAF theater teachers at UAF are here for the students, and every single one of them would do anything to make sure that student succeeds. You know, give their time and give their energy to make sure that student succeeds. And that, as a student, is invaluable. And to have that support network and that level of support and trust is amazing. And it's like a family.